Hello everyone, welcome to a new edition of Jefferson College Today, seen every week on JCTV and online at jeffco.edu. I'm your host, Roger Barentine, and with that, let's take a look at the latest news and information about Jefferson College with locations in Hillsborough, Arnold, Cedar Hill, Imperial, and online. Well, the Jefferson College Board of Trustees has unanimously agreed to extend the contract of President Dr. Raymond Comiskey by 2 years through June 30th, 2014. The Board of Trustees values Dr. Comiskey's leadership, particularly in these challenging economic times, said Board President Crystal Hargis. We feel that Dr. Comiskey is the right person for the job. We have great confidence in his continued management and the vision for the future of the college, he added. Under Comiskey's leadership, enrollment has grown substantially due to the efforts such as the addition of new attendance centers in Imperial and Cedar Hill, the establishment of an online virtual campus, the expansion of academic programs like Certified Nurse Assistant, the successful pursuit of over $2 million in grants to bring improved services and additional health technology programs to the institution, and the leadership for improved residential and business broadband access throughout the college's service region. This is Comiskey's first contract extension since assuming the post in July 2009 under a 3-year agreement, and his annual salary will remain at $182,000. Comiskey became only the 7th president in Jefferson College's 47-year history following the retirement of Dr. Wayne Watts. Well, in other news, 2 local residents are the first to earn their state CNA certification as part of Jefferson College's new 8-week Certified Nurse Assistant program. Pictured from left are M. Angie Sutton of Arnold and Deborah Compton of Festus, along with CNA instructor Tiffany Howell Arnold of Cedar Hill. The Jefferson College Certified Nurse Assistant course is designed to teach students how to perform basic nursing care skills for residents in a long-term care facility under the supervision of charge personnel. Successful completion will enable students to take the state examination for certification as a nurse assistant. The course meets the required 75 hours of classroom training and 100 hours of supervised on-the-job training in an approved long-term care facility as mandated by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. In fact, in a related matter, as a recognized leader in providing career training within high-demand healthcare fields, enrollment is now underway for Jefferson College's new 8-week Certified Nurse Assistant program at its new locations in Imperial at 4400 Jeffco Boulevard and Cedar Hill at 6471 Cedar Hill Road. The course does begin in January. As I mentioned, the Certified Nurse Assistant course is designed to teach students how to perform basic nursing care skills for residents in a long-term care facility under the supervision of charge personnel. Successful completion will enable those students to take the state examination for certification as a nurse assistant. Instructional topics include roles and responsibilities of the nurse assistant, understanding the elderly, safety, food service, personal care, restorative nursing, and special procedures. And teaching methods in the course will include lectures, skills demonstrations, clinical demonstrations, and supervision. The course does meet the required 75 hours of classroom training as well as 100 hours of supervised on-the-job training in an approved long-term care facility as mandated by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. If you'd like additional information about admittance qualifications, required materials, and costs, be sure to contact Jefferson College CNA Program Coordinator Karen Amsden at 636-797-3000 or 942-3000, extension 461, or you can simply email nursing@jeffco.edu. Well, registration is underway for spring semester college credit classes here at Jefferson College as interest in technical career and university transfer programs continues to remain strong due to the sluggishness of the regional and national economy. In addition to an online virtual campus that's available 24/7, Classes are available at 4 locations throughout Jefferson County, including the new Jefferson College Northwest in Cedar Hill at 6471 Cedar Hill Road. Now, students may visit any of those Jefferson College locations and enroll. And in fact, a complete list of available degree and certificate programs is located on the Jefferson College website. That can be found at www.jeffco.edu. Some of the many available programs include TV production, teacher education, EMT, engineering, certified nurse assistant, accounting, business information technology, criminal justice, foreign language, electronics robotics, chemistry and biology, and many more. And by the way, not all of those programs are necessarily available at all college locations. Now, residents can also pursue a bachelor's degree without ever leaving Jefferson County, thanks to the college's cooperative partnerships with Missouri Baptist University and the University of Missouri St. Louis. Now, you may want to get a pen because registration hours are here at the Hillsborough campus in Student Services, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Friday, as well as 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 8th. Then at Jefferson College Arnold and Jefferson College Northwest in Cedar Hill, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 8th. As well, at Jefferson College Imperial, registration hours are 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, and 8 a.m. until noon on Saturday. Now, as a reminder, all Jefferson College sites will close for the holidays at 4:30 p.m. on Friday, December 17th, and then reopen at 8 a.m. on Monday, January 3rd. For those who work full-time or have family responsibilities, the community college offers a variety of flexible class options that include evening, online, Saturday, and once-a-week formats. Jefferson College in-district tuition and fees are among the very lowest compared to other colleges, universities, and private schools in Missouri. And since its creation back in 1963, Jefferson College has continually been the #1 choice for higher education and training by Jefferson County residents. To help students succeed, the college also offers personalized support services, including the Academic and Advising and Retention Center, as well as Project Success, financial aid and scholarships, a career development center, an honors program, peer tutoring, writing and math labs, disability support, a learning center, as well as child care services. If you'd like to receive more information about spring semester classes and programs, be sure to call the Office of Admissions and Financial Aid at 636-797-3000 or 942-3000, extension 217. Well, as one of many community outreach projects organized annually by Jefferson College student organizations, a group of members and officers of Jefferson College's Xi Zeta chapter of Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society recently volunteered at the Ronald McDonald House of St. Louis by providing food and cooking breakfast for families. The Ronald McDonald House program, in fact, was started back in 1974 to provide a home away from home for families so that they can stay close to their hospitalized child at little or no cost. And at every Ronald McDonald House, home-cooked meals and other support services are provided by volunteers. Well, in other news, students in the Jefferson College Area Technical School Advanced Residential Carpentry Program recently completed construction of an energy-efficient green technology house as part of a year-long hands-on learning experience. To celebrate the home's completion, located at 615 Elm Street in Hillsborough, the Area Technical School hosted an open house where visitors were able to talk with faculty members and see firsthand the quality construction that students put into the annual project. And the house features a geothermal heating and cooling system and solar photovoltaic cells on the roof to generate electricity. And it was constructed under the direction of Advanced Residential Carpentry instructor Chuck Nitch and Electronics and Residential Wiring instructor Ron Boyer. Well, finally, to support the mission of Jefferson College, JCTV is always working to provide viewers with educational and informational programming that is both unique and exclusive to Jefferson County. If you have suggestions regarding the types of programs you'd like to see here on JCTV, feel free to contact the station by writing to JCTV, 1000 Viking Drive, Hillsboro, Missouri 63050, or simply by emailing us here at jctv@jeffco.edu. That will do it for this edition of Jefferson College Today. Stay tuned now for today's interview as I visit with Area Technical School Director Brandon Russell when Jefferson College Today continues. And welcome back. Well, Jefferson College is growing by leaps and bounds, and part of that is due to a very unique program here at Jefferson College known as the Jefferson College Area Technical School. It certainly is a pleasure this afternoon to have as my guest the new director of Jefferson's Area Technical School, Mr. Brandon Russell. Hi, Brandon. Welcome to Jefferson College Today.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been on the job for several months now, since about the middle part of the summer. Talk a little bit about where you're from and your experience as coming to the new director here at Jefferson College.
Well, Roger, this is my 15th year in education. So I started out as a school teacher. I came in the back door of education, I call it. I was the graphic arts instructor at Carrollton Area Career Center for about 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yep, and that's up in central Missouri. Got my start there. Actually got my degree in journalism from Northwest Missouri State up in Maryville. And met my wife up there, and she kind of hauled me back to that area and did some PR work for a hospital and worked for city administration, and had always had the dream of being an educator. So went back to school and got some classes, got the opportunity to be a vocational teacher, and did that for 6 years. And then the last 8 years, I've been working in some type of administrative capacity, a couple of years as an assistant superintendent, and but the bulk of my administrative experience is in a career education director. So I did that 6 years.
Well, you fit the position remarkably well, and you probably hear this quite often. You look very young to have so much experience there, and so it's exciting to hear those experiences that you've had and be able to bring them here to Jefferson College. Well, when we talk about an area technical school, it is really a unique entity in terms of how it works with a community college. So for those who aren't familiar, talk a little bit about what exactly an area technical school is.
Okay. Well, actually an area technical school is essentially a consortium, and area school districts work together and they create educational opportunities for their students in programs, technical ed programs, that really would be cost prohibitive to be able to do that on their own. You know, many of the technical ed programs are very expensive to operate. So the idea around an area career center or an area technical school came from schools, districts sharing their resources and then coming together to one central location. Jefferson College ATS is actually one of 4 area technical schools that's on a community college campus.
Really?
So we are pretty unique in that sense, which is one of the things that drew me to Jefferson College, was that opportunity to be a part of both the secondary programs as well as the post-secondary programs. So there are 58 area career centers, as we call them, around the state of Missouri, and like I said, 4 of which are like Jefferson College and have an ATS on the campus.
So Brandon, if I understand what you're saying here this afternoon, if I were a high school student and perhaps I was looking at a career maybe in culinary arts or maybe in automotive technology or some of those kinds of areas, building, construction, trades, most high schools, I think what you're telling me, most high schools don't have those kinds of programs. I went to Festus High School. I didn't have a chance to study culinary arts or those programs. So what the area technical school does is, by virtue of the schools, as you say, kind of pooling their resources together, allow those students who are interested in those technical areas to have a place that they can train in those programs that otherwise wouldn't be available.
That's correct. And really, most high schools have some career education programs, whether it be business. Across the state, there's a lot of ag programs. There's not a whole lot of those here in Jefferson County, but they may have a family consumer sciences program. So they're getting some foundation of career education opportunities in their high school. But when it comes to culinary arts, that's really an extension of an occupational program that those sending high schools really can't afford to equip the kitchen to the commercial standards back in their home school. So they pool resources and can have that opportunity here at Jefferson College.
As you speak about sending schools, who are the school districts, what are the school districts here in Jefferson County that participate, and then more specifically, what programs can students pursue?
Okay. We have 12 sending high schools, most of which, 11 of the 12, are right here in Jefferson County. One are Friends to the South at Kingston. They send students up here. The rest of them are from the county, Crystal City, DeSoto, Herculaneum High School, Festus High School. Fox School District sends students from Fox High School and Seckman High School. Grandview, Hillsborough here in town. The newest member is Jefferson R7. They just started sending students over the last couple of years. They're, of course, expanding their high school, so we expect to see more students from that district. And then the last two are Northwest R1, over to the west of us, and then Windsor High School.
When you talk about sending schools, what does that mean? Do the students come here a full day, or how is it that they're kind of enrolled at a high school and yet at the area technical school?
Great question. We call them a sending high school because those students actually only come here for a half a day, essentially. They're in actually a 2-hour block, so they get on a bus at their high school, and then they'll come over here. The district provides that transportation, and they get off the buses here, and they're enrolled in many of the programs here on campus. And so they're here for a couple hours, and then they get back on the bus and they go back to their high school for the rest of their day.
I see. What are some of those programs that students can pursue? We've
got a bunch of them, and there are several that are housed in our ATS building at the ATS, the Culinary Arts program, as you mentioned earlier. We have digital media technology. We have both residential carpentry and advanced residential carpentry, and that's a unique program. We build a house every year.
Yeah, I just
Jefferson
remember
College does.
seeing one not very long ago that the program had completed a home. We used some outstanding, very interesting technology in terms of some energy efficiency, some solar panels and other kinds of things that just blew my mind that students were building these kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for students to get involved in a project of that scope, and with the influence of the instructor, the two instructors involved, they got interested in the green technologies, and it is quite a unique house. Almost, they say, possibly energy efficient, energy sufficient, basically.
On its own.
Very little, cost regarding the electrical costs, so to run the home. But we also have building repair technology down there. We have a health service assistant, and then metal fabrication, and those are all housed in the ATS building. And then in 2 other locations on campus, we have electronics technology, we have residential wiring, welding technology, child care and early childhood education, business management, heating, refrigeration and air conditioning technology, web design and computer operations, and automotive technology.
My goodness, that's a wide list.
Yeah.
And that's great. There are a lot of opportunity there. Everything, as you mentioned, from culinary arts to digital media to fabrication in terms of welding and those kinds of things. So, a lot of opportunity there that I think perhaps a lot of folks just don't realize is available. I remember, it seems to me not very many years ago, although the reality is I was probably in high school quite a long time ago, that the perception was that for perhaps those that were looking at technical programs or looking into things like this, that those programs were really perhaps for the less academically talented student. But that seems to have really changed. We're talking about some top-notch students these days being enrolled in some of the programs that you mentioned, correct?
Yeah, I agree. And, I like to tell students that this is not your parents' VOTEC. Because the technology has changed so much, it really requires a higher level of student than what most of us would probably think. It used to be, seems like the stereotype was there that, the VOTEC was, or the ATS was where you sent students that really couldn't perform in the academic classrooms. But the reality is, with some of the technologies that are out there, it really does require a good, solid foundation of core academics, and using those to perform at a high level in many of the technical fields. You know, take for example your car you drive every day. The technology inside and underneath, you know, the hood of those cars is incredible today.
Yeah, so much computerization, it
Yes,
seems like.
absolutely. And so, you know, that requires a higher order level of thinking and being able to apply that knowledge in that high-tech environment.
Brandon, talk a little bit, if you will, about how the instructors, particularly at the area technical school, really work one-on-one with students as part of a truly roll up your sleeves approach to education.
Well, really, what we do goes beyond the theory of learning. There is that solid foundation of knowledge that the students have to get. And so we talk to them about going beyond the knowledge. It's one thing to understand how something works, but to be able to, as you say, roll up your sleeves and get in there and do it. You know, that's that practical hands-on approach that really makes it click for the student. And so, you know, whether it's building that house, you know, that we talked about, our entry-level carpentry students build a house right out behind the ATS building. I'm sure you've seen it when you've driven around campus. They'll build another house really, literally inside their shop. But then the advanced students actually go out in the community and they're building a real-world house, just like any other carpenter.
You're right. And I didn't think about it in those terms, but you're correct. You know, it's one thing to learn, you know, how do you frame a roof, reading it out of a book, but quite another to get the hammer and nail and go down and do it. Or, you know, certified nursing assistants, the same way. You know, it's one thing to learn how to take care of a patient from a textbook, but the human interaction. And so I think you're right. I can imagine how students would certainly be much more enthusiastic, energized, remembering more so the things that they're learning by the mere fact that they're doing things as opposed to simply learning about theory.
Yeah, and that's really the key difference, is they're transferring that knowledge that they've learned in the book to that real-world application. Our health services students actually go to nursing homes and hospitals, and they work with patients, real live patients. Our culinary students are experimenting and working in the kitchen all the time, whether they're honing their knife skills or recently they've been working on deep frying foods and how to deep fry a marshmallow without it exploding, you know. It's those real troubleshooting, real life applications that they then transfer over into, in the case of the culinary student, actually preparing a meal for, you know, whether it be the superintendents or the counselors or other events that we create for them to show their skills. And we had the superintendents on campus here recently, and we were able to have a lunch with our students, and they did a fabulous job, and they were very impressed with the students and how they were able to vocalize what they had prepared and how, and what the ingredients were and why they did it. So it's neat seeing those skills transition over into that practical application.
Now, you talked about the variety of sending schools that come to the county and the vast amount of programs that are available. Is there a cost to the student? How does a student participate in these kinds of programs?
Good question. You know, we like to make sure we let the students know that somebody is paying for them to be here. The students actually come here free cost to them.
Oh, really?
So they're not paying anything out of their pocket as a high school student to come here. But they're sending high school or sending school district is paying a tuition for them to be here. So, and that goes back to that consortium of schools, and they are actually paying tuition for their students to come here. So it's not free, but it is at no cost to the students. So it's a great benefit for them.
Do you find, as you mentioned, many of the programs here that have linkages to college level programs, you find many of the area technical school students who graduate then subsequently move on to Jefferson College programs?
Absolutely. I'd say a high percentage of our students end up back here at Jefferson College. You know, in many cases, like automotive, they're actually taking almost the equivalent of the first year of their 2-year program for their associate's degree.
Wow.
So they're getting a lot of the same coursework, or they are actually getting the same coursework that those post-secondary students are. And it varies from program to program, but many of them are earning some type of credit. Many of them, it's the actual credits they need to finish their associate's degree here. So many of them do come
on the way.
here.
Yeah, it sounds like a leg up in
Yes.
that case. Not only are they working toward high school credit, but by the time they finish the program, are well on their way toward completing a college program as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we encourage all of our students to pursue that post-secondary degree, because in today's world, just having a high school diploma is not enough. Many of our students choose to go straight to the workforce, and that's one of our goals, is to prepare them with some basic foundational skills to move into the workforce. And I think we probably have about 13%, 10 to 15% that go straight into the workforce. They take those skills right there with them. Many of the others, I think about 80% of our students actually continue on in some type of post-secondary program. And I'd say the highest percentage of those students come right back here to Jefferson College to finish what they've already started.
When you look at all those sending school districts, how many students roughly attend the area technical school?
We have almost 400 students this year. And I really feel like our capacity, we're running about 80%, just under 80% capacity. So there's still a lot of opportunities for students to enroll in our programs, to take advantage of those career programs. Some are more full than others. We do have wait lists sometimes in a lot of our programs, so they may have to wait a year.
Yeah. Do those students, I would assume they generally come in only in the fall, or are there slots both in the fall and perhaps in the spring, or how does that process work?
Well, traditionally it's just enrollment open in the fall, because we make them commit to a full year. So that's when our enrollment happens. Sometimes we'll lose students at semester for a variety of reasons, but very rarely do we allow a student to come in at semester. So they're really making a full year-long commitment.
And then subsequently they begin as juniors, as seniors? What is that process?
It varies by program. Most of them are juniors and seniors. Some are senior only, like automotive. There are others though. We've got about 3 that will allow them to come as a sophomore. So they get that initial, really an earlier start than most of their peers coming in as a sophomore. And we have several 3-year students that come 3 years of high school.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, as we mentioned at the top of the interview today, you've been on the job nearly 6 months here at Jefferson College. When you think about the experiences that you've already had here, what are some of the more memorable aspects of being the new director at the Area Technical School?
You know, just having the opportunity to be on a college campus has been a change for me. All of my prior experience working with post-secondary schools has been, as a partner on the other, maybe another area of the state. But being on campus has been exciting. The people here are great, been very welcoming, and just look forward to continue to work with others around the campus.
Well, I know, speaking to others around campus, we're definitely glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
For our final thoughts this afternoon, we talked so much about the opportunities available at the Jefferson College Area Technical School. How do students and or their parents who are watching us here this afternoon on JCTV really receive more information about the Area Technical School?
There's really 3 good ways to get information. One, they can go to the Jeffco website, and down along the left side there's a bunch of buttons, and there is an Area Technical School link there, so they can click there and get a lot of information about all of our programs there. So that's one quick, easy way for them to get it today. The second way would be to talk to their high school counselor. They've got information about all of our programs. Many of them have been working with us for many years, so they're a great resource, and they can talk to them about the application process and provide them with other information. Or they can just call Jefferson College. They can call extension 498, which will be the extension of our new recruiter and placement specialist.
Great.
Or they can call me at extension 423.
Great. And come out and see you in person.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'd love to have them on campus. I've encouraged parents over the years, that's the best way to learn more about a program, is call and ask about getting a private tour. And we get out to high schools, particularly after the first of the year, and we'll be seeing most of the students around in our sending schools. So that's a great way for them to ask questions too, is to see us when we're out there. So, but we love to have phone calls, and we'll mail them information, or, like I said, provide them with a private tour.
Cool. Well, we're about out of time today, but I really appreciate the visit. Thanks for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
You bet.
Thank you. Well, there you have it again. There's just some exciting things happening with the Jefferson College Area Technical School. And as Brandon has said here, if you'd like more information, 3 easy ways. Go to the Jefferson College website. You can pick up the phone and give us a call, or you can also stop by in person. The Area Technical School is located on the Jefferson College main campus here in Hillsborough. Well, that will do it for this edition of Jefferson College Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you right here next time on JCTV.